Hey guys, Tom itself here playing some Headquarters on Grind. Headquarters, not a super popular game mode, though it's kind of interesting. I think one of the reasons it's not that popular is because in one game, you have so many different styles going on. Like in most games, especially something like simple TDM, the biggest thing that's going to define that game, the pace of it, and how it plays out is the kill streaks. But Headquarters, well, you've got the phase in the first like 30 seconds every time a Headquarters comes up to try and position your spawn. Everyone's respawning, fighting for position, fighting for kills, and then the Headquarters comes online, and then you're trying to claim it, and everybody really packs into that one space. It's a lot like, I guess Hardpoint would be fairly close, except you have to sit there for longer, so you want more people right there. And then once one of your teams takes the Headquarters, then the team that claimed it, they can't respawn, and they have to try and hold out as long as they can to claim as many points as possible before the attackers come in and disarm it. And well, once all the defenders are down, the game type kind of slows down. And so, well, in this gameplay, I'm just going to fast forward when I hit those slow parts because it's not terribly interesting to watch. It does give you kind of a lull and build up some anticipation for the next Headquarters that comes online when everyone respawns and you go back at it again. It can be a lot of fun, and well, I certainly enjoyed it. But just to go from this kind of hardpoint style, let's lock down the spawn we want for this hardpoint, and then get into this, well, now we're all pushing this one middle point, like a B domination flag push at the start of a round. Everybody's trying to get in there to claim that flag. And then once you're done with that, then you're into this almost search and destroy style, super careful, one life, and you got to try to make it last and make it count. Or I guess if you're on the attacker side, then you're trying to clear out the defenders, and that's one of the most interesting asymmetrical game types Call of Duty has to offer. But just so much different stuff in one game, it turns out it's not terribly popular. It's gotten a lot better since they added the whole buffer time to work your spawns before the Headquarters becomes active. I won't ramble on about that too much more. Alright, so what's my role here in this game? Well, a lot like Hardpoint, as I said, you get that phase where you're really trying to lock down your spawn and also deny the enemy a spawn that is advantageous to the position you're trying to take and then hold. And so that's what I'm mostly trying to do here. Lock down a spawn for my team, keep the enemies from spawning there, and give my teammates cover from one direction so they can at least not worry about this part of the map, because Headquarters spawns can be pretty crazy, and enemies can be coming from just about any direction. And it does put me in scenarios like this one. There's a Headquarters right in front of me. I want to go run up there, get on it, get those sweet extra points for those capture kills, be a hero. But I'm actually a better service to my team sitting back here, because my teammates who are up there on it, doing that, and keeping the enemies from spawning back here, letting them know that this is safe, covering it for them, and letting them be able to take that and focus on the rest of the map. You'll see, I run into a problem here. I push up and looking for kills. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing good. And get some more points here, and then you'll see the spawn moves back there, and they come in behind my teammates who thought I was kind of over there keeping an eye on their backs. Yeah, I'm sorry guys. I would have been better off just being a little bit slower and, you know, again, covering my teammates back and holding down that spawn. Oh yes, I have the big minimap up. I grabbed that out of the Codcaster mode and overlay it in-game. I keep getting questions about that. It's fairly easy. Well, it'll make very obvious how I'm trying to work the spawns and how my team is working together. It's also going to make fairly obvious is that at times the enemies are kind of reluctant to move around. They assume we're just, I guess, running wild around the map and not kind of trying to defend the Headquarters. Kind of weird. And it also makes it really obvious that we have a pair of boosters in this game. So that's one of the reasons why it's a little bit slower and, yeah, not quite as fast-paced as might like, because it's actually 5-on-5 instead of 6-on-6. The class is actually inspired by Xbox Ahoy's recent M27 video. If you're into weapon guides and you're not familiar with him, he's got some fantastic production value, good stuff to watch, but it is a suppressor and extended mags. Really good combination for the M27. I'm kind of reluctant to use extended mags a lot of the time because it extends your reload time just a little bit, and it doesn't increase the mag size as much as it did in a lot of games like Black Ops 1. It's only up to 40 rounds, just an extra 10 instead of 15 that you might expect, but it does make the difference. I keep burning through ammo here, and the extra ammo it gives me is really useful, and, well, when I get into a tight spot, being able to kill 3 guys instead of just 2 and having that third one be a close call, extended mags comes in handy. The reload on the M27 is pretty fast, so it's a class I would thoroughly recommend as well. Alright, but let's talk about Scorestreaks for Headquarters. Normally, I like to run 2 fairly low streaks that I know I'm going to be able to get fairly reliably, at least several times a game, and are going to be useful to my team. Now, UAV, counter UAV makes a lot of sense. But in that 3rd slot, I like to run something a bit higher that's going to be useful if we take the headquarters and we start dying. Is going to be useful to make that asymmetric gameplay that will give us an advantage. The enemies respawn and we don't, and even kill them after we're all dead. So there are really 3 score streaks that I think are really good candidates for this, and that's the AGR, the Stealth Chopper, and the Escort Drone. And you could make the case for some of the higher ones that are just harder to earn. So you get the Warthog, there's the Lodestar and VTOL Warship, the problem being both of those are player controlled, and finally the K9 unit and Swarm. Well, those are particularly challenging to get, and so, I don't know, I'm going to stick with those first 3. The general strategy being that you call in those high score streaks shortly after the headquarters has become active or your team's taken it and you need some help capturing or defending it. You don't want to get stuck in a position where the other team takes the headquarters and then you have to sit there and burn time on your high score streaks while there's no one to kill and you're sitting there deactivating the enemy's headquarters. So in this gameplay, obviously using the AGR. I think I earned something like 4 of them in this one life. Regular factory for the things. Now the AGR has one big benefit. It's a little bit easier to earn, but the big benefit over those helicopters is that the AGR isn't bothered if there's a roof over the headquarters. The helicopters, when you got a roof, it can't really see the guys, can't shoot them. Now, you could just wait until the headquarters is outside where the helicopter can do more work, but, then you gotta wait. And hey, there's the nuclear. I've been playing cautiously for the last few kills. It's been like 2 months since I got the last one. That is number 4 for me. Oh man, it's a good rush. I'd slowed down at the end. Yeah, I'm playing cautiously. And so now I'm gonna go obviously find a way to get myself killed in a really stupid manner. Oh well. But back to AGRs, they never really managed to get me many kills at any one time, and they kind of sort of head in the direction of the headquarters, but not really. They just kind of wander around. I don't know what to think. It's mostly just a random hazard on the map for the enemies, rather than sitting in there hunkering down and providing a distraction on the headquarters. So, I'm not entirely thrilled. Now, yes, I could take out the pad and control it, but I think I'm just taking myself out of the fight. Now, if I knew I could get in a corner where I wouldn't be in danger, and I could, wait till the AGR was destroyed before then running in myself, that might work. But, well, I don't think I can get myself far enough out of the way. I think they'd just see me on the minimap and come and kill me. And, well, even if I did manage to get out of the fight, once the AGR went down, then I'd have to make a mad dash back to the headquarters to try to get back and defend it. And oh, this is one random host play. What? He just drop shot at me during. Oh well. Anyway, that's headquarters. Interesting game mode, lots of variety, put you all over the map. That headquarters can show up in so many different places, unlike Hardpoint, where you know exactly where it's going to be, and after a couple games, even just rounds in the same game, you get a pretty good idea of where the spawns are going to be. I'm still coming across headquarters that I'm like, oh, they put one there, and what do the spawns do when it's there? Oh, lots of variety, keeps me guessing, and it's a nice change of pace. I have another game of headquarters I'd like to post, a very close one, not quite the stomping that this one is, a very, very close game of headquarters. It goes down to the final time limit on Plaza. It's 15 minutes though. I'm not quite sure what I want to do in terms of editing though, so I gotta figure that one out. Like I said, it can be a little slow when you're waiting for headquarters to be destroyed. Full 15-minute game can be a little long for YouTube. We'll figure something out though. I'd really like to share with you guys. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for sticking around, and I will see you next time, and eventually get that other headquarters game uploaded. The final score was 55-6. I grabbed the final kill cam here. Alright, I'm out. Later, guys.